I have to address one question that I see that one of my residents, one of my chief residents, actually just asked us. Ahmed Nasser just
Yeah,
said, "What's your advice for graduating residents about common pitfalls and the early learning curve with open rhinoplasty?" What would you say to that?
that's a good question. I did see that pop up. I'm glad we're addressing it. I think the number one thing in the beginning is kind of getting comfortable opening the nose. I mean, it seems we talk about it in passing, like, oh, open rhinoplasty, but getting the nose open safely and efficiently, I think is challenging. And I think I was fortunate in my training to have seen it done different ways, doing the columella incision first versus doing the marginal incision first. And so I kind of combine those two, and I use you know, both of them to my advantage, in different patients, depending on what the case might be. If there's a lot of scarring, by where the marginal incision would go, then, I'd go columella first or vice versa. So it just kind of depends. But I think having seen it done in both ways, I think it's really helpful. I think it's just kind of getting used to opening the nose. I mean, it's very stressful in the beginning when you're like, oh my God, like, if it takes me so long to open it and then I still have to like do the procedure and put all those cartilage grafts in, it could be sort of overwhelming. So I think the learning curve, a lot of it comes from that just in the beginning. And then of course you have to figure out, first of all, what are you trying to even achieve? Like having the right aesthetic goal in mind or the right functional goal. And then doing the right steps to get there. And the more, we learn about this, the more we read about it, the more lectures we watch, and the more we actually do it, it's like you're constantly going back to the drawing board. And, you said like you have like your like 6 grafts that you do now, but it probably took you many, many cases to get to like, these are and I'm sure there are times when you need an extra graft or maybe you don't need a graft. And so deciding on how like the exact combination of steps and moves are going to be in a rhinoplasty can be, very challenging. And I don't know if you ever get to the point of truly like actually in Dean Toriumi's book, who's considered, one of the leaders in the rhinoplasty world right now, in his like latest book, he talks about how he started off in his career early on thinking that he really would become like this master rhinoplasty surgeon, that he could handle any case and he could just predict everything. And he's like, that's just not true. You can't ever truly master it. I mean, it's a humbling procedure, probably one of the most challenging in all of, plastic surgery. I deal with the face, but I mean, what's your kind of take on that
You know, I
challenge? And
I love one thing I love a lot that you just said, but one thing that you just said was, which is a lot of patients ask me this because I'll get patients who've had 7 or 8 rhinoplasties
yeah,
when they come in to see me, not infrequently. I mean, like usually a couple times a week. Some of the cases
wow,
I'm doing are 7 or 8x rhinoplasty revisions, and then I'll do primaries too. Probably half primaries, half revisions at this point is
mm,
what I'm doing. That's something that a lot of patients ask me. They say, "Is my nose going to be hard? Is my nose considered challenging?" Or is my nose easy? My nose is probably easy. As many as I do, I tell every patient, I don't consider anyone easy or hard. Because once you get in there and you get lazy or you just want to do something fast or, you say, oh God, I have an hour to do this case because I had patients come in or something, that's where you run into trouble. And
wow,
so I treat, you have to treat every single case like it's a hard case,
yeah,
like it's because it's someone's nose, it's someone's life on the line that they've been waiting their entire life for this surgery. So many of my
absolutely,
patients come in and they say, I've been wanting this ever since I was X age, and this
yeah,
means everything to me. And you just have to take that responsibility very seriously. One of the best things that I do in my practice, just going back to Ahmed's question, is training residents and fellows. It's
hmm,
it's truly one of my biggest joys in rhinoplasty practice. It's just so interesting when we go in for some of these crazy revision cases that I do. And you're opening the nose, and the residents and the fellows are always telling me, you get complete. It looks like nothing. Like they don't recognize any anatomy at all. And
mm,
then by the time that we're finally done all the at least exposure and dissection, you can actually see what's going on a lot of times. And so it's just been great to have that
yeah.
experience in teaching residents and fellows. And I do tell my patients, I do have residents and fellows in almost every single one of my cases. I am the one doing the surgery, so that at the end of the day,
Right.
no one has to worry about
I
that.
saw someone commenting about eyebrows. So in case people are wondering about me, I have advanced alopecia areata. So that's something I'll be talking about more in the coming probably weeks. But that's why you're not seeing much in the way of eyebrows. So, but no, really good points. I mean, I think teaching is super important. I really haven't had the opportunity yet in my practice to incorporate that in. I'm expecting to, do that, once things really kind of are full speed. Yeah, because I love to teach as well, but it's great to be able to do that.
Well,
And
it's so fun, Gary. I tell my residents that where I trained, which was an amazing place to train, we will literally do more rhinoplasties in a single week now when my residents get to do with me than I did in all 6 years of plastic surgery.
That's amazing.
Training.
Yeah,
so it's really fun for the residents and fun for me. So.
Yeah, so in terms of the learning curve, I mean, I think it's steep, for rhinoplasty in general. And then once you get into the revision category, it's tough. I mean, because you don't have the material that you're used to working with.